Hey grade 10s, alright, here's the last half of this lesson and also the last lesson in this unit. Woohoo! Okay, so this lesson is going to take a lot of me scrolling, okay, so I apologize in advance for all the scrolling you're going to have to watch on the screen here, but it is what it is because I need to reference the charts that I put at the end of our booklets. The second note, and I will make a post about this as well, is that the pages at the end got mixed up, the order, and so I'll put them back in the proper order and then re-upload them for you. I'm sorry about that. I don't actually know how that happened. I must have just not saved it properly. But I don't want you to be confused because there are kind of a couple sets of charts and I want them to be organized properly for you. So just keep an eye out for that and then re-download the proper set of charts. Okay. So we are going to take a look here at how to figure out how much tax we are going to pay on different salaries. And to make things easier for us, I just did them all as monthly salaries for the tax codes because you can pay tax in all sorts of different ways, but I wanted to make it easy for you by just making the tax monthly. Okay, that's also a normal thing. A lot of people pay tax monthly. Also, a lot of people pay tax every pay period. So those are kind of two common things that happen. Okay, just let's take a look here. So we need to know the amount earned per month and then the claim code. And pro tip here, our claim code for this whole unit is going to be claim code 0. Okay, so if you were using a claim code that's not 0, it would be kind of a special circumstance, and that does happen. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because maybe you might learn to do your own taxes in the future, and so then you would know that claim code is important. Okay, so you can just keep that in mind, but for our work, we're just going to have a claim code of 0. All right, I did make a couple typos in this lesson, classic. Okay, so in the first example, that shouldn't be 5,830. It should be 3,830. Okay, my bad. I will tell you the typos as they come up. Okay, so Karam lives in Manitoba and earns a monthly salary of $3,830. Determine how much federal and provincial income tax she's going to pay. All right, so here starts the scrolling. When we want to figure out how much tax you pay, you have to take the amount that you earn per month, okay, and then store that in your brain, 3,830. We need to remember it, okay, and then we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to look at these tables, okay. So first we have the federal tax. You can see that up here, and you can also see that it's monthly, okay. And so when we take a look at this, then we want to make sure that we're looking at a monthly salary, which in this case we are. So that's good, okay. Next thing we want to do is take a look in this column here, pay. Okay, and so we want to take a look at the column where there's all these numbers until we find the number we're looking for, which is the monthly salary, which in this case is 3,830. Okay, so we're going to scroll down and see here I'm only at 1,700, so I'm going to keep going. I'm now into the 2,000s, getting close to 3,000. Let's take a look. 3,800. Okay, so we are now in the 3,800 range, and let's take a look. So I'm seeing some 3,000s here that are pretty close to 800, so let's take a look. So I have 3,823 there, but remember that the number we're looking for is 3,830, so we want to make sure that that number, 3,830, falls in between the two numbers. Okay, so what this means, the one that I've highlighted, is as low as 3,789 up to 3,823. So because our number is outside of that, it's higher than the 3,823, we want to look at the next one, where we can see that 3,823 to 3,857 does include our example's salary. So Karam's salary of I'll just zoom in, 3,830. Okay, so because her salary falls in this bracket, then that's what we're looking at. Okay, so then the second thing I said is we need to know the claim codes. Now I have to scroll a little bit back up to the page. Told you, lots of scrolling. And we're going to look in this column here, claim code 0. That's what CC stands for, is claim code. Okay, and we're going to follow this all the way down, okay, until we get back to our line, which is right here. Okay, and that number there, $523.40, tells us how much money Karam is going to pay every month in taxes to the federal government. Okay, so we're going to scroll back up. You can remember this number by writing it down somewhere. My hint to you would be write it on your calculator. Okay, so that's what I did, is I just put it into my calculator. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to our example. Told you, too much scrolling this time. I apologize. Okay, and we just did federal tax. And that amount is $523.40. Okay, now, unfortunately, we have to do it all over again for provincial tax. Okay, so again, we're going to remember that number, 3,830. We're going to scroll. I'm just going to erase these so that when we use this next example, it's not in our way. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you see here at the top of the page, we're into Manitoba provincial tax deductions. So we're looking at the provincial tax instead of the federal tax. That's good. That's what we want. So now again, the same process, thankfully. There's no changes now, except that it's just for Manitoba instead of the whole country. We're looking here to find our number, 3,830. Okay, so I'm scrolling. We're still in the 1,000s. We've gotten into the 2,000s. Not quite there. Okay, I see some 3,000s, and I'm seeing some 3,000s that are getting pretty close to 3,800. So let's take a look. Where do we find 3,830? Remember, we want it to be between the two numbers, okay? And so I'm going to find that right here, right? 3,830. Again, I'm going to write that on the side in case anyone forgot. It does fall inside 3,816, 3,850, okay? And then again, we want to look at claim code 1. Claim code 0. It's the first column. That's what I was trying to say. We're going to scroll all the way down, like we talked about, until we find our right here. Okay, so we're going to have $407.85. And again, you can probably hear me clicking away there. That's because I'm writing this number in my calculator so that we don't forget it by the time we scroll all the way back to our work. Okay. All right, so going back up. There we go. Okay, now we know that our provincial tax is $407. Whoops, decimal in the wrong spot. $407, not $40.85. So total tax, we can add them up to get our total. So $407.85 plus $523.40. Gives me $931.25. Okay, so that is how much money Karam pays in tax per month. Okay, there's our answer. So she pays $931.25 in tax each month. Okay, now, pro tip for you. If you have this in person, like if you printed your notes, which I hope you did, then you have this great advantage called you can detach the last pages that are the charts of your notes off of the rest of the booklet. I would recommend, okay? I have to scroll because I'm just on an iPad here. I have nothing else to work with. But if you have them printed, please detach them. Then you don't have to do all this flipping back and forth all the time. Okay. Let's look at the next examples. These are all like the one we just did, except that we are going to have to probably do one extra step in a couple cases. So we want to figure out how much tax each Manitoban below is paying per month, but it's not always given to you as a monthly salary, right? We see annually, semi-monthly, weekly, okay? So it's not always given to us in months, so sometimes we have to figure that out. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is divide by, do you guys remember how many months are in a year? I hope so, 12. Okay, to find the monthly amount. So I'm typing that into my calculator, 78,000. Oh, this is one of the typos. Sorry, you guys. Oh, goodness. Okay, we will divide by 12. I just need to correct the typo first. Okay. Okay, I know that's a drastic decrease. It's just because I didn't want to print tax tables that were like 20 pages long for you. That would just be excessive. And so I tried to keep it so that the salaries are not super high so that I could print fewer tax pages. Okay, so that's what happened. Anyways, my apologies. I should have corrected that at the start. Okay, so 43 1,850 divided by 12 is going to give me, let's see, how much per month? $3,654.17 per month. Okay, so now we're going to go find our federal tax. You don't have to write federal out the whole time. I'm not going to, okay? And provincial, same thing. So let's go find those. Okay, this is now our new number to remember, $3,654. Okay, so let's scroll, or in my case, scroll, and then we're looking at federal tax. Okay, 3,654 is just barely inside this bracket, hey? 3,653 is the lower limit. So that means we're going to be paying $499.65 in tax for this person per month to the government. Okay, so I'm scrolling back up. Okay, and then same thing. Looking at 3,654, we're going to scroll all the way down. We're going past the federal. Okay, remember we just did federal, so now we're going back down until we see Manitoba as our title. Okay, and we are going to scroll all the way down to here, and I'm going to see that we have 3,654 in this bracket. Okay, so that means we're going to pay $387.40. Just writing this down, my calculator, in tax. Okay, so that gives us the two taxes, and we can find our total, which is $887.05. Okay, and then you would put a sentence, but I am running out of room, as you can see, so please put a sentence. Okay, all right, let's do the next example. All right, this time we're talking about Gus, who earns semi-monthly. Okay, so remember that semi-monthly means 2 times per month or 24 times per year. Okay, and so since this is 2 times per month, we can multiply it by 2 to get a monthly payment. Okay, so you can multiply 1,988 by 2 to get 3,976 per month. Okay, so there's our new number, and we're going to scroll. You get the idea, hey? Lots of scrolling this time. Okay, and then we're going to find 3,976 in this bracket, which means $542.40 in tax. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's our tax for this, the federal, so for Gus. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down, and again, we're remembering our number. Okay, so we're looking for 3,976. I'm here at the bottom. We're all very close to the bottom of the page here, and I'm going to see that we have this bracket, or this interval, as our winner, which gives us $424.15 in tax. Okay. Oh boy, too far. Sorry, guys. There we go. So $424.15. I'm going to add them together, right? And that's going to give us our total, which is, let's see, 542.40, $966.55. Okay, so Gus, it's not how you spell anything, you guys. Oh, man. Okay, for the remaining 2 examples, after we calculate the monthly salary that the person earns, I'm just going to do both taxes at once, okay? And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add the two taxes together in my calculator as we look at the tables, okay? It's just like too much work to scroll back and forth all the time, and I think you're probably getting really tired of it. Me too. Okay, so let's take a look here at Zara, who earns $565 weekly. Now, okay, this is a big thing. Do not just multiply this by 4 to find a monthly amount. Remember that there are not always only 4 weeks in a month, so you can't always multiply by 4 to get the monthly salary. So what we have to do here is multiply by 52 to get the annual salary, which is $29,380. And once we have the annual salary, we are going to divide that by 12 to get the number of weeks, months. I'm so sorry, the number of dollars per month. Okay, so that's really important. I see people doing just times 4 in this case a lot because it's really tempting, but it's not right. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, there we go. So we have the annual salary, and then using the annual salary, we found the monthly salary. Okay, so let's take a look here. So that's our number this time, 2,448. Okay, so I'm scrolling down, and this time 2,448 is going to be right. Oh, I just saw it. Oh, there it is, right here. Okay, so we're gonna have 327.75. Okay, and now, like I said, this time I'm just going to keep going because I don't want to keep scrolling so many times, okay? So I'm going down here until I find Manitoba, and I'm just going to add them together on my calculator, okay? If you get confused at all, though, please message me. That's great. I'm always open to that. You guys know that, okay? So now I'm looking for 2,448 in this section, and I find it right here, which gives me $227.15 of tax. I'm just going to add that to the previous amount of $327.75. Okay, so federal tax plus $227.15, and that's going to give me my total tax amount. So I can scroll back up, and we can say our final answer here. Zara pays $554.90 per month in taxes. Remember to round to 2 decimal places when you talk about money. Okay? Very important. All right, and last but not least, we have Bruce. And Bruce is also earning money, which is great, and he earns $14.79 bi-weekly. And remember that, again, there's no easy way to go from bi-weekly to monthly. Okay, so we have to go first to annually by multiplying by, do we remember? I really hope so. 26. And once we do that, we're going to get his annual salary, which is $38,400. Oh my, that's a funny, crazy shape. Holy cow. There we go. Sorry, $38,454 per year. And we're going to take that number, and we are going to divide by 12 to get a monthly salary of, let's see, $3,204.50 per month. Okay, same thing. I'm going to take this number and I'm going to just look for the both tax values in one go because I don't like doing all the scrolling. Okay, so I can find the 3,200s in this area. And in fact, I have 3,204 right there. Okay, so that gives me $433.10 in tax. And then scrolling down to Manitoban tax, we have, let's see, 3,204. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's an interesting situation. See how 3,204 is like here and here? Then in that case, you're always going to think about the pennies, right? So because we're a little bit over 3,204, we're at 3,204 and 50 cents, then we're into this bracket. Okay, so we're going to add that much, $334.30, to get our total amount, and we can go write our final sentence. Oh, here. Okay, so Bruce pays $767.40 each month. Okay, there is one typo in the you try that I'll just quickly mention before I finish the video, and then I will post the answers of these in our teams. This was the wrong value for the biweekly pay for Taylor, so just correct that. All right, there we go. After this, we're done the unit. Good job, you guys.